The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Rich Martin here for the Eagles Sports Network as the Carson-Newman cross-country team heads back to Charlotte to compete in the South Atlantic Conference Cross-Country Championships, joined by cross-country coach Mike Spooner. Coach Spooner, we'll start looking at the regular season. For a guy who only got here with, a month, maybe two, to prepare for the regular season with a team that didn't run for 650 days. Solid regular season for the Eagles. On the women's side, broke the 5K team time record twice at the same course. Also had several PRs back-to-back with Carly Yared, Olivia Fanning, Madison Dockery, Rachel Strayer still had a strong season on the men's side. A lot of improvement on their first ever 8Ks. A lot of people breaking personal best. What can you say about your regular season from your Eagle squad?
Yeah, obviously the limited amount of time for me with them in terms of their base mile of their summer training, but also, with the addition of changing, kind of our culture and changing the program and changing the way things have been done. So obviously with a lot of changes, sometimes it takes a lot of time to adapt. And I think that with our team being, for the most part, so young, has really made that job a lot easier. So certainly a blessing there. But really, these past couple of weeks, you're really starting to see everybody in full cycle and full sequence in terms of what the program now is doing for everybody. And so I have had meetings with a lot of them going over race strategies this week. And a lot of that has been brought up. It's just that this is the first week that, really the past 2 weeks where everybody feels like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. I'm not feeling dead, all the time, or I'm not feeling, tired. I'm feeling confident and strong. And those are all really positive things. But again, it's been a huge credit, to the team and the program as a whole to make all these changes and adapts with short notice and still be able to continue to succeed.
Looking at this course, it's McAlpine again, third time of the season. Going to be different for the women, of course. It's going to be a 6K this time, a little bit different as the course layout as well. What's the mentality going to be for both teams preparing for this race?
Really for both of them is to obviously take the lessons that we've learned throughout the year and apply them. The reason that we got to run this course twice before this time is to figure out, how do we as a team tackle this to have the best results? On the men's side, for example, because of the lack of summer training, we've really made a big focus on making sure that, hey, we need to be a little more aggressive on the front end. We can't just wait and expect, because that last 2-3K could be where some of that missing mileage, comes from. But hey, let's invest early on and be aggressive and allow our instincts to kick in that last part. And I think the guys are really bought in on that. They certainly seem to be, and they've really come together as a complete collective to understand that goal and that purpose, which is great. On the women's side, certainly they understand, we have an opportunity to have, potentially 4 runners all conference, which would be phenomenal. And so all of them understanding that, and then obviously, our 5, 6, 7, those ladies understand that, they're going to be dealing with more of the crowds and, racing, and, the higher up that they finish, for that number 5 position, the better it helps our 4. And so everybody understanding, their expectations and their roles. And I don't even like saying roles per se, because I hope everybody always strives for more than that. But certainly each of them understanding that, and I think is really setting up for certainly our best chance to see what we can do.
Looking back this year, of your races you ran in the regular season, 3 of them were hosted by South Atlantic Conference teams. The last race you ran, the Royals Challenge, is basically a mock SAC conference championship where most of the teams in the conference competing at that meet. Does seeing those teams multiple times over the year kind of get you a familiarity with, like, okay, we know who's good on this team, we know how we can race against them?
Yeah. For us, yes. Funny, ironically for some of them, maybe not so much about us, because, this will be, knock on wood, this will be our second time racing a full roster in terms of, especially on our girls' side, because we were without someone for one reason or another throughout the year. And so this is, the last time that we had a full roster and raced, we did very well at the A6 Invite and finished just 20 points behind, one of the regionally ranked teams. And so now going into this conference meet, to my understanding, we have a full roster going into it. So that's been good, is for us to, for me to connect on our ladies' side, saying, listen, guys, this is who we need to be with. This is who we need to target. This is who we need to race, because I know what they've done on this course, and so I'm able to say that. And, of course, I know all my cards where maybe results don't show all of our cards, which could help us. On the men's side, same deal as well, is understanding that, hey, the expectation is, we finish here in the conference, but if we want to change that, this is what we need to do. Essentially the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, the same result. For us saying, hey, we need to, race different, we need to be different. And our team is not great because I think lack of experience in terms of big meets, but I really wanted to force that on them this year to make sure that they got more comfortable as we went to smaller fields instead of uncomfortable, in terms of we just did a bunch of small meets and did this, it might throw them off versus, the reverse where I've just shoved them in these huge races, and now I can say, hey guys, you were all stressed out about that before. Now we've got a third of the field, now you can really focus on you and running fast, and I think that's going to work really well to our advantage.
Good, Spinner. Thank you for your time, and good luck this weekend.
Awesome, thank you.
That's Coach Mike Spinner. Eagles race for our South Atlantic Conference Championship this weekend. The men will start Saturday at 9 o'clock with the 8K, while the women will follow at 10:30 a.m. with the 6K.